May Peñanes. Before we will start our discussion proper, I will share to you some trivias. Did you know that the longest word consists of 189,819 letters is titin? Yes, you heard it right. That's how many letters there are in a full name of titin, a giant protein. 2. Geniuses read very quickly. The average reading speed of an ordinary man is 230 words per minute. This is about 2 pages. Pretty solid, right? Well, not for the sharpest among us. Napoleon, for example, read at a rate of 2,000 words per minute, while Balzac could finish a small novel in just half an hour. Third, reading protects from prison. American sociologists argue that children who've learned to read by the age of 8 have fewer chances of being imprisoned in the future. Moreover, these kids are less likely to use drugs or to drop out of school. Positive effect in action. What more is there to say? I hope I imparted new information to you, my dearest audience. Now let's go to our proper discussion. Developmental reading. What is developmental reading? It is a systematic instruction in reading skills and strategies. Refers to comprehensive reading program which consists of several periods or stage. These periods usually coincide with the developmental stage of growth of individual. Developmental reading is a course designed to help the struggling reader develop mastery in the areas of reading comprehension, vocabulary, building study skills, and media literacy, which are the course's primary content strands. According to Hobby Course 1981, a developmental task is a specific responsibility that the individual faces at certain stages of life in order to be well adjusted. In college, refers to the refinement of vocabulary, comprehension, literary appreciation, and study skills which are needed in both intensive and extensive reading. Why is developmental reading important? Developmental reading is a branch of reading instruction that is designed to support literacy in a variety of contexts to improve comprehension and decoding skills. This instructional approach helps bridge gaps in reading skills so that students are better equipped to engage with more advanced content. Reading problems. In our research, we gathered 5 common causes of reading problems. First, inadequate instruction. Example of this is mostly teacher did not give complete direction to students that will cause misinformation. 2. Lack of appropriate materials. Example of these are lack of books and inequality of distribution of books. Materials is really important because without this, students cannot learn how to read. 3. Big unmanageable classes. In terms of reading, we know that reading really takes time. So, as a teacher, we should give sufficient time because we know that students have less capacity to understand text quickly. 4. Poor attitude towards reading. This really talks about the reading habits. Reading habits affects the reading performance of the students. Last, conflict with interest. If the students really didn't like the story or the book they read, it will be a problem because especially in elementary grade level, we really need to catch their attention so that they will like to listen or to read and to learn. Factors affecting reading development. First, physical and clinical problems. This refers to the health condition of the students. If the student is not holistically healthy, they will not really like to learn or to read, especially reading more fast. 2. Predictors of school entry. This refers possibly to the school environment. If the school entry surpasses the expected percentage of students, this will lead to lack of resources, especially in reading. Acquired knowledge literacy. This refers to the misinformation. 4. Family-based risk factors. These talk about the family conflict, the relationship between parents and students. That will really affect the child performance. 5th, neighborhood, community, and school-based factors. This refers to the negative and positive environment of the student.
Okay, so before we proceed, I'd like to introduce myself. I am Julian Albarena. So, here are the skills required for proficient reading according to National Reading Panel 2000. Namely, phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, reading comprehension. So, phonemic awareness is the ability to distinguish and manipulate the individual sounds of language. And the phonics is the study of sound. Fluency is the ability to read with speed, accuracy, and vocal expression. Vocabulary, it is the knowledge of words and words' meaning. Reading comprehension, engagement with text. Phonemic awareness, example is knowing to know the rhythm or the rhyme words of the sentences. Phonics, study of sound, for example, CK and CH, C and SH. So, next, fluency, for example, what she say or what he say is accurate and correct. The grammars and the citations and especially the wordings. Vocabulary, knowledge of words and word meaning. It is the ability to find meanings and the definition of words. Reading comprehension, engagement with text. So in reading comprehension, it is the ability to comprehend what you read. So the reading pyramid. So the reading pyramid is composed of 5 stages in descending order. First is the comprehension, followed by the vocabulary, fluency, down to phonics, and the last in order is the phonological awareness.
Good day everyone, I am Cindy Correga and I will be tackling this morning the developmental reading stage. So what is developmental reading stage? Developmental reading stage examine the basic stages in child development of reading skills and suggest methods for aiding this learning process in school and at home. So now let's start with the stages. So stage 0, this refers to the 6 months old to age 6. Label, reading readiness and proofreading. This refers to the child's starts learning to recognize the alphabet, imitation reading, experimentation with letters and learning sounds, and also understanding the world around them. So during this stage, the learners learn the function of written language, alphabet, and phonemic awareness. So example of activities are story reading or pseudo reading, alphabet activities, rhyming, nursery rhymes, and invented spelling. So for the stage 1, the age 6 to 7 or refers to the grade 1 and grade 2, label initial reading or decoding. It means that sounding out words from print or utilizing consonants and vowels to blend together simple words. So in this stage, the learners or the students starts to learn the letter sound, correspondence, decoding, blending sounds, or word recognition. So here are the examples of activities that would help to support this stage. Teacher directed reading instruction, in which the teacher guide or initiate any strategies that would help the students to asked questions about the text, or it could be exposition or lecturing. That would be the best example for the teacher-directed instruction. And the phonic instruction. So for the stage 2, age 7 to 8, grades 2 to 3, this level to fluency. This stage is considered as the real reading stage because they are fairly good at reading and spelling and are ready to read without sounding everything out. So rereading allows them to concentrate on meaning and build fluency. So during this stage, the learners learn automatic word recognition, prosody, and expression. So here are some examples of activities that would help to develop these reading skills during this stage. Activities that are wide and varied reading, modeling fluent reading, and lot of practice during this stage. So for the stage 3, age 9 to 13 refers to the grades 4 to second year. So label reading for learning the new stage. So during this stage, the learners sounding out from unfamiliar words and read with fluency. Readers need to bring prior knowledge to their reading acquisition of facts. So during this stage, the learners learn how to understand the text, what they are reading for, and the vocabulary knowledge and the comprehension stage. And in order to develop this stage, here are some examples of activities that would support during this stage. So reading content area materials, research, strategy instructions to build understanding. So for the next, stage 4, high school, age 14 to 18. So label, multiple viewpoint stage. So during this stage, the readers are instructed in reading and study skills. Learn to analyze what they have read and react critically, and share multiple views and concepts. So during this stage, the learners learn to reconciling different views from their peers, for example. So example for these activities such as critical reading, in which the readers apply certain process, models, questions, and theories that results to enhance clarity and comprehension. Another example of activity is discourse synthesis, report writing. That are some of the examples that would develop the reading skills during this stage. And for the last stage is stage 5, refers to the age 18 and up. So this would be preferably for the college level. So this stage level construction and reconstruction stage. For the learners reads materials that are useful to them and apply those skills that they have learned from what they have read. Readers know what not to read and as well as what to read. And also, they have the ability to synthesize critically the works of others and able to defend their stand on specific issues. So during this stage, the learners developing a well-rounded view of the world as they have know everything or starting to know what is going on around them. So example of the activities that would help during this stage is the learners learn what not to read as well as what to read. So they have already the freedom of what they want to do in terms of reading. So they have also their preferences. So now let's move on to the balanced program literacy. So what is balanced literacy program? A balanced literacy program combines explicit instruction guide practice, collaborative learning, and independent reading and writing according to Tomskin 2010 on daily basis. And also, balanced literacy program refers to the teachers differentiate instructions based on students' needs. So during this stage, the teachers are looking for a different or variety of instructions that would help the learners to develop their reading skills, writing skills, anything that could be developed for the student, especially in reading. So a balanced literacy program is a program that incorporates a variety of reading experiences.
Good day everyone, I am Ivy Agarpao and I'll be discussing reading experiences, reading models, and reading comprehension strategies. So first, let's talk about reading experiences, in which it divides into four. First, shared reading. The teacher reads with the students when a book may be at too difficult reading level or comprehension level. So here are some activities of shared reading. First is dramatic play, echo and choral reading, narrative storyboarding, and lastly, word games which engage children in reading literacy, in where there is an interaction between the students and the teachers. Second is independent reading. A student will have a chance to read books at their own comfort level during this time. Example, a student select books to read from the classroom library and choose to learn or read their books in their own pace. Third is read alouds. Read alouds are great means to model good reading fluency and use of strategies, grant conversation occur during this time. So, example of this is the teacher introduces the text, read all the words, incorporates brief modeling, or think aloud teaching vocabulary, and lastly is ask questions about the text. In short, the teacher do all the things. Fourth is guided reading. The factor will guide small groups of students with the same leveled readers during the stand. Specific strategies and skills will be taught. Example, when the students read a certain text, the teacher is in there to guide them, in which the teacher is located near the students. Now let's proceed to the next topic, which is reading models. So there are three categories of reading models. First is bottom up. It is a reading model that emphasizes the written or printed text. When I say written or printed text, anything we see in writing such as poems and letters. So it emphasizes the ability to decode or put into sound what is seen in the text. Example, if you see an image of an individual letter on your screen, your eyes transmit the information to your brain, and your brain puts all this information together. And also, it derives meanings in a linear manner. The second category is the top-down reading model. It is a model in which top is the higher order mental and bottom as physical text on the page. It is where the meaning takes precedence over structure. Example, understanding difficult handwriting is easier when reading complex sentences than when reading single and isolated words. This is because the meaning of the surrounding words provide a context to aid understanding. The third category is interactive reading model, combination of bottom-up and top-down process. Good readers are both good decoders and good interpreters of the text. Example, how an interactive reading model might be implemented in the classroom is with the use of literature circle. So what is literature circle? It is a small groups of students who read and then discuss a book similar to a book club. Reading comprehension strategies. There are 8 reading comprehension strategies, namely, first, skimming. It is quickly identifying main ideas, speed 3 times faster than normal reading. For example, in the newspaper, you quickly get the general news of the day. And in skimming, there are 3 types. First is preview, second is overview, and lastly is the review. Second is scanning. It is finding a particular piece of information, running your eyes over the text, looking for specific information. For example, when scanning, you don't start from the beginning and read to the end. What you do is to jump around in the text, trying to find the information you need. The third one is extensive reading. It is used to obtain general understanding of a subject and includes reading longer text for pleasure, also business books. And the fourth one is intensive reading. It is used shorter text in order to obtain specific information. Fifth, visualizing. It is used to be able to create sensory images in the reader's mind so they will be more engaged with the content of the text. For example, in order for the students to understand the story, the teachers will act or feel the emotions of the story so that the students will picture out the scenario of the story.
6. Synthesizing involves evaluating, sorting, shifting through information that is new, and reorganizing it into a larger concept. For example, in conducting a research, so the researchers will read different articles from different sources, and after that they will sum up all the information that they have gathered and create their own idea or expound those information that they have learned from those articles that they have read. 7. Inferring, drawing upon readers' background knowledge and connecting this with new information. For example, if you see someone looking at the book and you see that his face is not that good, or he or she gave a reaction, so you can infer that he or she did not like the book. Or if you see someone focused looking at the book, so we can infer that he or she is like what he or she is reading. So for the last, reading comprehension strategy is the questioning. It is the ability to generate questions that demonstrate that students are synthesizing, evaluating, and attempting to clarify what they read. Best example for this is after reporting. Of course, the students are or the listeners are encouraged to ask questions in such way that this measures that if the students really understand what is the report all about. So it is very important that if you don't understand the text clearly, ask questions for you to have the full understanding about the text that you have read or about what the report is all about. It is very important to ask questions, and teachers always encourage students to ask questions for clarity and to avoid any misinformation or misunderstanding about the text.
Reading skills. Reading skills includes vocabulary, idioms, synonyms and antonyms, figures of speech, noting details, getting the main idea, inferring, making generalization, predicting outcomes, and structural analysis. So, reading skills, structural analysis includes affixes, root words, compound words, context clues, which is type A, semantic clues, B, syntactic clues. So in affixes, for example, the word unbelievable. An is the affixes. And the for the root word, believe is the root word for unbelievable. Compound word. Example for the compound word, playground. There is a two word that is combined and make it one word. Semantic clues. Semantic clues is a branch of linguistic concerned with the study of meaning. When a word, a noun, is the noun words around the word are the source of semantic clues. For example, the children are blank playing at the park. The syntax suggests a preposition, but only certain prepositions will make sense. Syntactic clues. Syntactic clues matter in reading English. In order or sequence of the words affects the meaning. For example, they painted the house yellow. They painted the yellow house.
And here are the compilation of the references. And that's end our report. I hope that you learned something today. And once again, good day everyone.